Yeah.
Come and tell us later about the stuff y'all be clocking.
For the men who come up here talking about some, yeah, let me tell you about this man. We talking about you too. We talking about you too.
No,
Stop
that's what
coming
I'm
up
saying.
here to other yourself.
That's what I'm saying. You can clock what that man doing. You know confidently what he doing because you be doing the same shit. That's all. Gang looking
Exactly.
out gang. Ain't that what they say?
Listen, there's either two versions. You pander online and you pander offline. Or you red pill online and pander offline. That's your two options. That's your two options. If you're trying to cozy up to the ussy, you pandering in both places, or you pandering just offline. But ain't no other fucking options. You in the same goddamn group, all y'all, 100%. Okay,
And the
stop
interesting
that dumb
thing to
shit.
know, an interesting thing is a lot of the red pill dudes love the freedom they have online because in real life they don't get to say those things. That's the thing.
Correct.
Nope.
Correct.
They'll never bust a grape in a fruit fight in person. You won't hear from them. That's what I'm saying. I never heard any of this rhetoric. It's not to say I didn't think it existed until I got on TikTok. Never.
And but guess what? And you still don't hear it after you get off of TikTok when you go
I
outside.
don't. And I
It's
don't.
not. It's not outside. They
They
pandering outside. We all got to meet the representative who trick us and then get us in. Ain't nobody walking up to me talking like this outside. Please stop.
at all.
Please stop. It's
At
bullshit.
all. That's why I was
You
like, I
know,
feel like these are the ones that don't leave their house and this is their outlet.
no. Here's the thing though. No. That's where you mess up. Because that's the image they want to say. Oh, these niggas online is different. No, they the same men you interact with on a daily basis. They get to take that
Hmm.
man, so they take their drawers off and that mask off, hop online and say all the
You think in
bullshit.
person they just don't say it or
You
they're
be like,
scared to
yeah,
say it, but on
and
here
you
they get
like,
all bold.
no, but that's what I'm saying. You be like, dang, men ain't don't be like this because they don't say that shit to you. You see what I'm saying? Like
Right.
the internet gave them a safe space to be anonymous and say some fuck shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's the whole performance. Some of these motherfuckers, I don't know if y'all realize this, but some of these men don't even use their real voice.
Oh,
Ooh, tell
you
me
talking
about
about that?
that. They got voice changers?
They got
No,
the
no, no, no.
transformer
It's
voice
not
on
a,
it. It get all deep.
so you know how like some women, like that one lady who talk like this, like she be like, "I'm real feminine," that's my voice. The men do the same thing. They be like, "Yeah, let me tell y'all how to." Like they don't. That man don't sound like that. That man, that nigga sound like
They all sound high pitched to me. Like none of them sound like deep voices to me. I don't know.
I'm telling you, some of these voices. I forgot that dude name. I ain't gonna say. I ain't say nobody's name today, y'all.
Not tonight. Okay.
And I can't. Y'all got to put two and two together. Thank you, Lady Q. But it's a guy on here, and Darko's know what I'm talking about. I'm like,
I know
that
what you're
ain't
talking
that nigga
about.
voice.
Let's play bingo. Let's see if we can clock the pander based on the description.
I don't know. I don't know a lot of the dudes on here. I'm still
Clock
learning.
the, hold on, clock the Pandora sounds like fun though. Y'all got to clock it.
I like
Damn.
that. Yeah, if you could give clues. Yeah.
Can do
Put it in
imitations.
the
We
chat.
can
You
say
can put it in the
catchphrases.
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah. I like that. I like
Catchphrases.
that. I like that. I don't know how good I'll be, but I like it.
No, 30 being messy in the comments already.
Oh, I
These
didn't even
niggas who
Don't
be
get
forgot
blocked,
all
Jay.
about that
but these,
person.
no, those people. It's multiple of them.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought that was the one that you were talking about specifically.
Yep,
No.
no, I was actually talking about another one, but he right. It's a lot of them.
Okay,
I,
okay.
I like the men. I like the men participating because listen, what I'm saying. These men be clocking this shit. They be clocking it. I'm telling you, they know this shit like the back of their hand. They do this shit every day. They be clocking it.
Yes, but I'm gonna go on mute. But my answer to the question about how to catch a panderer is if he's the man. Okay, I'm gonna go on mute.
All right, we're gonna go to Mid and Lynn, and I'm gonna go through this list. What's up, Mia?
Hey y'all, good. I about to say good morning, good afternoon. But anyway, there's a saying at my job that if they mouth moving, they lying. I take the same approach with these men in the words of Dark Horse. If it's a man, he a panderer. So that's how you catch one. I mean, for me, I said this before. Men who understand, who actually understand the plight of women, absent of them benefiting from women or trying to get something from women or trying to be in space with women, it's a lot of things men wouldn't do just on GP. Like, oh my gosh, I understand what women are going through. I understand how deep this goes. I get the systems. Oh, I need to, the way for me to combat this is by staying out their way, not trying to be in their space because I could be harmful even if I'm not intending to. And I could go on and on. I don't want to get too. I don't know where you're going, so I don't want to go too much into that. But the men who understand would be far away from us. So if they want to be close to us, you gotta assume that either they're pandering subconsciously or consciously. But either way, it is what it is.
But the
I don't
fact
think you can say that necessarily because this is the thing. A lot of times the men who are like pandering, disguise it as I'm not talking to the women. Like this is not for the women, this is for the men. And let me tell you something. Um, there's one thing that I learned from Liz, right? Liz is a person who is unpacking racism, right? So one thing Liz taught me was I don't take labor from Black women because I understand my privilege, right? Being a YT woman. And it's funny because the men who have panels about like women and women's rights, oftentimes they are taking labor and extracting labor from women. And now those men might say, well, the women are giving the labor. It's not my fault. You know, if they give it, I'm going to take it. Well, Liz has said several times that there have been Black women who have offered to do free labor for her, or do something for her, and she kindly rejects if she can't pay them or if she can't do like a trade for them. And I think that that's valid. I think that
Mhm.
that's very valid. As a person who's unpacking any form of what is it called, like you have any sort of privilege, you taking labor from the marginalized group who's marginalized up under you, and you know that group is marginalized up under you, you are not doing what you say you're doing. So I just wanted to put that out there.
No, I agree with that one because the thing is, and I think it's hard for Black women to see because we so used to giving free labor that we don't understand it. People who don't freely give labor, give up like perform or whatever the labor is that they give in front of a person, they see it when other people doing it, but you don't see it because like it's so normal for you. But they see it because I say that because like when another Black woman wants to do something for me, I get a little uncomfortable. Um like maybe not like you get this weird feeling like maybe you shouldn't be doing this for me. If I feel it, I know the motherfuckers feel it, right? But I wanted to say this for what Mia was saying, and they do be lying. One of the strategies I think it would be useful, like, and this could you could do this with anybody because a lot of times when we are listening to these conversations, we have a perspective of the person we agree with. We have our bias. Like pretend like you the op. Disagree with your favorite person. Disagree. Just try to see it through a different lens. And the shit hits so you start seeing shit that you might not have saw before. Just saying. That's worked with me, and I agree with you, Lynn, because a lot of I've heard men specifically say, well, my target audience isn't men. I'm not talking, I mean, it's men. I'm not talking to women. But you look down in the audience and it's women. Like I'm gonna say my audience is women because when I look at my, like, it's not just who I'm trying to target. It's also when I look at my analytics, it's women. It's women around a certain age who in my audience. I'm like, okay, that's who it is. I can't have a bunch of women in my audience be like, well, I'm talking to men. Like, let's be for real. Because if men ain't listening to you and they just arguing with you, not talking to men, the men are just part of the show. But just saying.
And to that point, real quick, I just want to add that hey everybody, I want to add that also taking any form of financial payment from women in pursuing this like full time is also subject to scrutiny, in my opinion. But I'm just a woman on TikTok. Hear me out. Um, if you quit your job to pursue freedom fighting full time, right? Like you quit your job to pursue standing up or being a women's rights advocate because that's what you're doing, like no matter the platform, because somebody went live and tried to diminish it earlier. Oh, what are we doing this on TikTok? Are we doing this on YouTube? Are we this on da 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 da? No, you're taking up a platform. You're saying that you're, you know, a women's rights advocate, a feminist, or whatever you call yourself, right? You're protecting Black women, whatever you call yourself. The moment you make this your sole source of income is the moment that you start putting money ahead of your morals. And I said this when it came to King Panderer himself. You start putting your money over your morals. So you really not doing the right thing. What you stood for in the beginning is not what you stand for now, because this is your whole source of income. You have to feed your family off of this. Therefore, if somebody does something that is like contradictory to your platform, but you can't clock it because you're afraid that if you clock it or if you correct it, you're gonna lose the source of income, then that's low-key problematic. Like, I'm just saying.
Hey, East.
Hey y'all. I didn't hear what everybody said. I just came in on the tail end of what Lynn was saying. And yeah, I definitely agree. Um, Especially when
Well, I can summarize it. They said them niggas some liars, but go ahead.
they was right. I don't know what niggas, but she probably right. All of them. All the lies. But when Lynn, when you were saying about making making it your full-time income, I definitely agree with that. And that's why I don't want to be messy on your live, Tara. Let me. Well,
You won't be messing in their lives.
I blocked a certain creator because I seen that she was just like real. It wasn't really about Black liberation for Black women. It wasn't about holding any. It wasn't about like creating spaces for Black women to talk about how we are so like we're highly
Man, drop
harmless.
the name in the
And
Discord.
I'm curious as hell
Drop the
now.
name in the Discord. Hold on, go on teacup, ma'am. Don't pause.
I'm like, who the fuck? Because she saying she ain't gonna be messy, and I'm like, who the fuck she talking about? Damn.
Not after saying no names. Everybody want to know the name.
Yeah.
We can do the names later. Y'all gotta have it now. Oh, okay.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. She don't count. She don't count.
And
Um,
I was like, I really thought, I was like, okay, I like this space, but it was like, send me a gun, send me a money 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 gun. I was like, oh, I'm finna go. I'm finna get the fuck out of here because this shit is getting weird. And then also, who else is like that? I can't really think of it because I don't think I be on men's lives anymore that do like pro, like quote unquote feminist TikTok because I just don't believe that there's a man that could truly ever be a feminist or anything like that.
yeah, because sometimes, and I was mentioning this on that woman live because she got a frequent flyer. Being the hero, being the good guy, being constantly getting accolades for being that man who say the things that quote unquote other men won't say. Like men will come here for that validation too. So,
True. Yeah, they
all right,
will.
y'all.
They come over here to get a pat on the back.
Mm-hmm. But we don't know what you do behind closed doors. All right, y'all. The first one, y'all. Um, how does Spider Panner, y'all? If he centers himself in women's issues, like he talk about women's struggles, but somehow it always become him being a hero. Like as a man, I never do that. Or men to do better. that's why so he's still like framing it as he the exception, when in reality, like what he should be doing is putting women's first, right? And amplifying women's voices without taking credit for what they're saying, right? Is one thing to say, oh, I got this from black women and repeat it. Is another thing we like, no, women are saying it. Let me support that woman. But anybody notice this one when they center themselves and women issues?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna drop the example.
I know it
Hee
ain't going.
hee. I'm gonna drop the example in Mia Discord. So if you on Mia Discord,
Damn.
I'm gonna put the name.
I was gonna say too, it's the othering is, I can tell you better. I can tell you about these men because you don't understand. Let me explain to you. It's not me, but I know this type of man. So I'm here to guide you. So, but it ain't me though. I've changed. I used to be that guy. That's my favorite line. I used to, back in the day. Back in the day was 2 hours ago. But it's always back in the day I used to. But go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all keep going. It's probably gonna come up too.
Back in the day was 2 panels ago, huh?
Then that's when you want to find the parallel, because that's what red pillars say. They be like, well, I used to be out there doing whatever, whatever, but now, like, I should really get another chance. I get another chance, even though like women don't be doing that shit. I just think that's interesting because
Would you?
if you look at it, it's the same thing. They're just saying it differently. But what you were saying?
I was gonna say, Dark Horse. Would you consider othering when they're like, "Oh, none of my friends do that. None of my friends are like that. I don't surround myself with men like that."
Always. They never know the example. Never,
Never.
never know the example. But when I tell you you never know the example, I know that you have immediately told me that you are the person.
I
Not
was
your
about to say
friends.
that. I was about to say
I'm
that.
not even gonna say your daddy, your friends. No, no, no. Now I know it's you.
It's you.
You know nobody? Oh, then it's you. You ever be in a crowded room and you're looking around and you be like, oh, it's you, sir. So now
It's
I'm not
the,
even looking for you to tell me somebody in your friend group is harmful. You're the harmful person.
it's
So
the
that's
Spider
all.
Man meme.
That's
That's
the
what it
red
is.
pill men too.
You
The
seen the
red
Spider?
pill men because they not exempt from being the panderers, right? Because they pander to men, and
Mm.
they pander to pick me's. But the red pill men, they are good for saying, not me and my homies, me and my homeboys, not like that. Like then it's you. I agree.
Well, and they
Um,
say it's anybody but them is suspicious too, and I think that's more of what the fake feminists do. Is this everybody but them? Like they can bring up examples with their friends, but they never did it. Like our boy did.
yeah. By the way, I'm dropping names in Mia's Discord. So if you ain't in Mia Discord, go ahead and add Mia's Discord because
In
I'm
my
being
bio.
messy.
It's in my
Yeah, go to
bio,
Mia
y'all.
bio. Um, anytime somebody bring up an example, I'm gonna put the name in Mia Discord who I think match it. So
So
let's go.
the first name that you put, uh, Wireless had put me onto him a long time ago. She's like, I don't like that nigga. I don't fuck with him. I don't. Duh, 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 duh. So yeah, I've been side eyeing him.
He a punk too.
I don't like any of them.
He is a punk.
A naked mole rat at that, but yeah.
Oh,
He a punk.
Mhm.
He need to go. He trapped in the closet.
Come on out. No eyebrows.
the punk is
No
crazy. I
eyebrows
ain't
is
gonna lie.
crazy. No eyebrows is crazy.
Something about a bad hairline is a red flag, yo. I'm just gonna say that. Like something about a man looking in the
Nah,
mirror and
somebody
see his
just said
hairline.
that today. Don't say
Hold
that.
up.
Because you
Hold
know who
up.
just said
No.
that.
No, somebody just showed up that I got blocked because no,
What?
you oh there he go right there. You reported me, Julio.
Huh?
You reported me.
I don't know. Why would you think that?
All right. Go ahead and tell us about the Panderers.
No, I just thought this was hilarious. The Derek Jackson that backdrop is that's funny. That shit is that's pretty good.
Dr. Julio,
Julio must be
you think you
bored because
you think
this is
you
second day over here.
I've never seen him over here.
Well, Lynn, I'm trying my best to slowly integrate myself back into the live section of TikTok's algorithm. So, in order to do this safely, I have to go to other people's stuff first. You know what I'm saying?
Julio, let me ask you a question. Do you think that you also a panderer?
No, I've been called that since 2020 when I started making content on Clubhouse, though, because I try to I defend black women when they're right and try to call out stuff when they're wrong. But I get called a panderer all the time.
What about the fact that you used to make red pill content years ago and then you switched to making pro black women content?
I never made red pill content though.
Oh,
How long have you been following me?
I don't follow you at all, babes.
So then, how do you? So then, if you don't follow me, what makes you say that I made
Talk
red pill?
about you. We talk about men like you. But obviously, we're all sharing our panda bear stories, and
Right.
from what I've heard about you, is that you used to make red pill content and talk salaciously about black women, and
Never
then
happened.
you switched over to okay. Well, this is what I heard, Julio. That's why I'm asking you to clear the air. Hello.
What you heard ain't what happened.
Well, you gonna let me finish? So I heard that you used to be on a different app. I don't know I can't remember the name of the app, but used to be
No, I
make.
just told you it was Clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And used to be on a different app. You used to make salacious content about black women. Then you got on TikTok, and then you started pandering to black women.
No,
That's what I heard about you.
never happened. I have replays on Clubhouse that go back to 2020 and 2021. My content has literally been the exact same. I've always defended black women and have been called a panderer ever since I started making content.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
East, we just got finished before he came in the room. We told you they gonna say that's the old me. They don't know that nigga, and you still ask the fucking question. You ain't learned shit.
No,
Goddamn.
no, there is no old me. I've been the same. That's what I'm saying, Dark Horse. I've never changed.
That's what he's saying. He's flat out denying it.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't. I
never
mean,
changed.
I don't care enough to investigate. But I'm gonna believe the woman that told me before I believe you.
Well,
Yeah,
let me ask you
believe
this.
women.
Well, hold
Yeah,
on. Let me
believe
ask you. Well,
women.
hold on. Let me ask you this.
Hmm.
86.68% of my
Oh
entire
no! See, now
following.
I definitely don't even believe you now because you over here throwing out
You
numbers.
don't even know what I'm about to say, Black Mama.
Go ahead.
86.68% of my entire following are women. So if I hate black women, why would so many of them follow me?
The
I have
same reason why so
91,000. I have
many
91,000 followers, by the way,
same
93,100
reason why
followers.
so many black women follow Cartel and follow
And
Star
Princella.
and Princella.
Yeah.
Um,
The same exact reason.
well, obviously, what I'm saying resonates with them. Otherwise, I don't know why they would follow me.
You
What
know,
I'm,
there's a
what I'm saying.
market for there's a type of woman for everybody. Okay.
Lynn, you are you hell for that. What is that supposed to mean? That's sick. So women like self rage bait like that. Come on.
Yeah, the women who follow you, Julio, they gotta be a little bit loose in the brain. Word to me.
What?
I think it's because he has a large he does Christian content too. So Christian
Okay.
women.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
when it comes to Christian women, they'll listen to anything that come out of a man's mouth as
Oh,
long as
not
it
too
is.
much.
No, no, it's not their listen. They're self-deprecating. That's what the Bible teaches them is
No, it does.
self-deprecation.
No, it doesn't.
So stop. I'm not.
No,
It's
it
not up
doesn't.
for debate.
No, it is up
So
for debate because you can just
if
lie
you're
on the
used
Bible. Don't
to
do
if you're
that.
gonna listen to a man, even if he cheats on you, even if you leave a home, come back 10 years later, you still take him back.
That ain't
That's
what.
self-deprecating.
That ain't
So
what I
you
tell
are
women.
gonna
I don't tell
you're
women to
gonna
do that.
listen to content that
I don't
promotes
tell women to do
that.
that, and the
Hold
Bible
on,
doesn't
Julio.
either.
Why you
Why
always
does he
interrupting?
always talk a lot?
Not let you talking. You talking over. Mister, you respect black women, but you over here talking over this black woman.
That's how you know it's a lie.
No, it's not a lie. I just don't let people lie on the Bible. That's
No,
he
go
says
ahead,
take
dark
that seriously.
horse.
In the book of fables.
Okay.
They heard what I said, and it's not anything that we have to listen to from someone else because we all grew up in the church. We heard it directly. It's in our families. We don't
I
have
didn't
to
grow up
hear
in
it
the
from
church.
Dr. Julio. I'm still talking. What is wrong with you? Are you okay?
I'm great.
Just
I'm in a
go. You
great
gotta
mood.
have it. Go and take it, babe. You gotta have it. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I didn't grow up in the
Yeah,
church. So
you
don't
a
get it
attention whore, Julio.
I'm an attention whore. Is that what I am?
Like I really want to hear what Dog Horse had to say. So
No,
mute
I
up.
want him to circle jerk by himself. I want him to run out of gas so he can stay on mute for more than like three
I
seconds.
don't
So
want to
go
hear
ahead,
about
get it
no
all out.
goddamn Bible. I don't want to hear
Let
about the
like
damn Bible.
get it
No,
all
I don't
out
want
so
to
we
hear
can
about
talk.
that.
Damn.
Nah, Dark Horse. He ain't gonna never get it all out when it comes to himself. He gonna be jerking
He's just
forever.
saying he's trying to get back into the live, so he want to get more engaged. And no, we ain't about to do that. That's crazy. We're gonna go to number two, y'all. We're gonna go to number two. So the second way, how to catch a panderer would be same thing, same
The
thing.
same thing.
So he critiques men just enough to seem safe, but not enough to be effective. Saying stuff like you'll hear him say stuff like "not all men," right? Point out extreme cases of misogyny, but doesn't want to challenge the everyday behaviors that men actually relate to. So
I
they'll
do
talk
challenge
about,
them.
hold up, sir, what the fuck?
There you go, Tina. You see how he centered
Mute
himself?
up, mute up.
You're
No,
talking
no, no, no,
about
no,
me
no, no,
though.
no, mute up.
What?
Wait,
Why you say
so
you
they,
talking about him, Sarah?
I know he hit dog's gonna holler, but let me finish, y'all. So in this case, men will stop. They won't address coercion, emotional manipulation, or like the tragedy of the night sky, or how violent they can be, right? And a lot of them won't upset their male audience too much, right? So they are unwilling to lose their male followers by being brutally honest about their own and other men's entitlement. What y'all think about that one?
Mm.
But Miss Tara, that
You
wouldn't
already
apply.
know.
That wouldn't apply to me though, Miss Tara. I've
You
openly
you're
stated
last up and you're last to answer, Julio. There's an order. We're going like through this questionnaire that was formed before you joined, so it wasn't about you. And Tam is off of mute, so we're gonna let Tam go and we're gonna all answer.
Right, because
sure.
nobody's talking about you, nigga. Like, we don't care.
I'm
Anyway,
so aggressive.
yup. Masculine, yup, all that shit. What's next?
But he loved black women.
Right, fall in line, be obedient. Anyway,
Ooh, I like
um,
when you talk to me like that now.
right, good boy. I agree with that.
Woof woof, man.
Right, do what you do. I agree with that actually. I've seen a few. I'm not in the Discord, so I can't name names.
Man, we
But
got this point.
Girl, go on and join that Discord. What is
I'll
wrong
send
with
it in
you?
17 different Discords. I don't know which Discord I'm supposed to join.
Mia Discord. It's in her bio.
Okay, because I want to drop a name on that one. Go ahead to Dark Horse, and I'm gonna like.
Okay, so my favorite one for this particular example is when they will hear some man doing something harmful and they immediately want to pull in. And what did she do? So that's how you know. So they can't let a conversation be about men. They can't stay on topic. They can't focus. If it's a subject about men, they will always find a way to bring women in it to sort of balance the scales and not to piss the men off. So that's my example. Go ahead, Mia.
Then as soon as I get back to my phone, my example is who. Let me not do that. I don't want to get them started.
Go ahead, Mia. I knew you was gonna do it. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna do it. Big A. I ain't. I really,
All right,
I
calm
really.
down,
No, go
Austin.
ahead. Go ahead. Look, I knew
Calm
you had
down,
it queued up. Go
Austin.
ahead. Come on. Come
No,
on.
I'm not. No, I had just. I'm gonna let Lynn go because I had just walked back to my phone.
How have you been, Mia? It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Dr. Julio.
Oh, no, you being nice to me today. I love that.
All right,
I'm
go
very
ahead,
nice.
Lynn. Go, all right, that's enough. Go ahead, Lynn.
I would say, I would say is because to me, Tam's example or Dark Horse example, I think it was Dark Horse maybe. Her example applies to men who are like outward with it, but a covert pander, right? One that might disguise himself as a male feminist, and I'm about to knock them all out with one hit. Ooh, slingshot, bam. Um, put his friend up on the stand. Put his boy.
Mm-hmm.
Put his homie up on the stand. And the moment you hold his homie foot to the fire, if he say, "Nah, not him, nah," cause I know him. He ain't never did that. He he he
Damn.
ain't did that. Not in my presence. And then he make a video about it. months later and say that he was the victim, that he too got asbestos poisoning, um, he might be a panderer.
Now, I like that
Because
you
why
point
you
that
not
out.
questioning your homeboy?
No, because that's a parallel too, right? Because I want to keep drawing the red pill parallels so y'all can see these niggas ain't different, right? Because that's another thing they do. Not the men I know, not the men in my circle. Because like you gonna ride or die for that man. You ain't never like he gonna lie for you and you gonna lie for him. But all the motherfuckers who not in your circle, they can get it though. But not them special men. No, don't you touch them.
But is that because they do dirt together? Like, isn't it because
Duh.
they doing the shit together, and that's why it's
What is
like they
it?
gotta.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Duh. That's exactly. I agree with you 100%. That's exactly what
Julio, chill out. She
I
didn't
was
go
agreeing
there.
with her.
Um, Tam's still trying to get in the Discord. You got it, Tam?
It keeps saying expired.
Oh, she got to update the link. Just put it in the chat,
Update the
Kim.
app, Tam, and it'll work for you.
Somebody just DM it to can one of the
I
mods in
got,
the
I got
chat?
her. I'm a
Okay.
DM her.
Yeah,
Hold
update the
on.
app first, Tam. Go to the app store and update the
No,
app first.
we got it. We got it under control. Tam, you want to go ahead? Then you could just put the name in the chat.
Well, it's already been said in the chat.
Okay, go ahead. You didn't get a chance to finish what you were saying
It
though.
beat me to it.
Man, that don't
Monica.
count. They named everybody. Monica done put everybody name. She just threw. Is it?
Oh, it's Shannon. I have no problem saying it.
Oh,
I
No,
don't
I ain't
mind.
damn.
want to say no names on the panel though, cause
Oh, my bad. Well,
no, it's
then, yeah,
cool.
that one. I have no problem saying it, but yeah, that one.
Um, you done though?
And I was going to say, at least on TikTok, I see that one done a lot with the mods in their spaces. If they have male mods, they will absolutely stand up for some BS at any given time.
Yeah, and it can even go for the mods who will call out other men's behavior but won't call out
Exactly.
host behavior. Absolutely. It's like
Wait,
you protective of every that's why like when we talk about like holding each other accountable on the back end or like some shit gotta be done out in the open, that's why it's so important because if we just point the finger at everybody else but never point at ourselves or the people that's close to us, we ain't saying shit.
They'll
wait, I have a question. Can you repeat number two again? Because I might have an example for that, another one. Yeah, I'm on a roll.
Yeah, so he critiques men just enough to seem safe but not enough to be effective. Is he is like he won't say it's all men, include like him and his homeboys. It's like everybody else. He won't challenge like the subtle things we be talking about.
What is your
Hmm.
perspective, though, I wonder?
Okay, I'm gonna sit on my example. I'm gonna write it down. I'm sure it's gonna come up.
We got 5 more to go through, so it's cool.
Miss Tara, quick question. What does it mean to be effective? What is effective holding men accountable
Oh
on?
no, the women know what I'm talking about.
Oh, so I can't ask the question to get an answer because I'm a man. Is that what it is?
No, I'm just saying we know they know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Mia, did you want to add something?
Yeah, when I heard you, I thought I heard you say when I heard you repeat that. Damn, I wish I had a good example, but I do want to say this. I think that it's important to recognize the part where they do just enough to like speak to something in a group of people that's oppressed and marginalized, but not enough for it to mean anything. We need to let that sink in. A lot of us are so overwhelmed with what we experience under the patriarchy that sometimes even the basics just a motherfucker say one thing and he invited to the fucking tea party. All of a
Mia,
sudden you can go to
Mia,
spa day.
Mia, when we talked on the back end, remember we was talking about it? Expand on this when we were like, he'll say, all men ain't shit, including me, but never give any examples. He'll just move
Yeah.
on. And then you get a pass. Oh, he had mentioned that he ain't shit. Oh,
Yes.
he must be a good one. And then he goes into other shit, but he never like unpacks, deep dives, and all that. So that's what you were going on. I think that's where you were going with it.
No, yeah, that's it. And it never And I could drag it. I could give like examples of like 9 things, but I don't want to take it that way. But you're right. Like it seems like he get to be the hero in a story. Like, look at me. I have so much integrity. I'm so honest and direct, but you ain't said a motherfucking thing. You ain't said nothing. So I just thought it was important to say. I don't got no good example outside of something separate, but I want the ladies to just let that sink in.
Hold up, Tam. East, did you want to say something?
Yeah, and I think for not only can they not give a specific example to branch off of Mia's point, they're never they're usually never able to say that they're still actively unpacking. Like they're still they're now they've done all of the work. They've read all of the books, even though a lot of them can't read, but they've read all of the books. They've done all of the unpacking, and now they're completely done. And now they can go and preach the feminist gospel to other men.
But you gotta also remember, because one of the more covert ones I was gonna talk about later is when they say, "Oh, but me too." They be like, "All men like that," but me too. One thing we learned about when we did the red pill analysis is that men could say stuff like, "Yeah, I messed up, I fucked up," but they can never go into details about what they mess up in a way that they hold themselves fully accountable. It's like once you get into the nitty gritty of the story, it's like, "But she did this, so it's justified what I did." But a blatant, like, "Oh yeah, I messed up," like a fake apology style, they can do that all day.
Or
Same. Oh, go ahead.
or for King Panderer, how he's never, whenever he does tell a story about how he did fuck up, he never speaks on how it affected his wife.
Oof.
And he never speaks on how the emotional turmoil that caused him, how that he caused her, and how he rectified it, and how he's still continuing to rectify it. It's almost like, yeah, I fucked up because I did this and I was wrong and blah 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 blah. But it never talks about how, like, yeah, she cried all night and she couldn't look at me for days, and I really hurt. Like, it's never that. It's always, yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah, and the way they weaponize the stuff they learn on the platform behind closed doors, shit, let that woman speak for herself. You ain't never like
You know
that.
he
Y'all
never
know
let
how
her
to be
do
like
that to him.
the wives when they talk about the Stepford wives that the celebrities get. That woman, like, you ain't never gonna hear her voice. You ain't like
Right.
if it's under close surveillance, like that nigga gonna be sitting right there.
Right there next to her. Yep.
He
Sarah,
never
you
put
know that
them.
man would never let that woman have the man that Black Mamba is referencing would never let that woman have a microphone on TikTok. You know that. Well, like,
Absolutely not. Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure behind closed doors, it's going to be, oh, well, I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to protect you from
that's the
this.
line they hell yeah, that's the line they use. You know it. Um,
That's why that when you said that, Julio, made me think about that time. I'm like, damn, I wish you'd actually put your girlfriend on the phone. But go ahead.
Ooh.
my girlfriend. Let me tell you something. My girlfriend just flat out don't like social media, but she'll cut. Let me tell you, if
Yeah, of course you
I have had
don't.
to, Tara, I kid you not, no bullshit. I have begged her, hey, come on my panels. She was like, no, I don't want to do that. She has her own platform. She makes cooking videos on TikTok. She got like 40,000 followers on YouTube. No, that's
All
Instagram.
right. You getting off topic. Go ahead though.
No, but my point is, I so King Panderer that Black Mamba is referencing. That is to me the most dangerous type of man on the internet. The most dangerous. It's this really really beautifully slick sounding accountability that masks itself as allyship, but in actuality it's weaponization. It's weaponization of feminine energy, and
Wait a
that's
minute, Dr. Julio. When did you start speaking up about King Panda?
I've been speaking about King Panther. If we talk about the same person,
Oh,
You
he
talk
definitely
about,
about to steal your shit, East.
huh?
He gonna steal
huh?
your shit.
Yeah, he about to steal my shit. I see it. I see his
I
little
ain't about to
grumpy
steal it,
little
baby girl. You must be
swiper,
talking about
swiper, no swiping.
Black Mamba. You must remember. You must forgot who I am, darling. I don't steal nobody's stuff. I'm an OG. I've been doing this for a long time. You understand? But no,
I love how we getting all the feedback and then the example at the end. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
no. My point is that what King Panderer does in Black Mamba, again, I think we're speaking about the same person that with painted fingernails. Um, th- that's the weaponization of feminine energy. That's it. That's all I'm saying. The example is that all men are evil. And I have had to help my wife heal because of the things that I've done, because I am a weaponizer of patriarchy still. Okay, well, you say
But I
all
mean,
this.
you doing the same thing. To be fair, you saying all them other niggas, but not you.
No,
Like,
I don't. No, I don't say not me. I don't say not me. I never make that claim. I am pro patriarchal, but I lean more egalitarian. You will never hear me say not me.
you
You will
can't
never hear
be.
me
Hold
other.
up. You can't. Hold up. That's a country. You can't be pro patriarchal and lean egalitarian. What is you talking about?
Why can't you? I think the patriarchy needs to be majorly
All right,
restructured.
we
I
ain't
think
gonna get in all that, but I'm just saying that's a
it's
contradiction. You
not.
can
You can be. It's like being a Republican that leans Democrat or a Democrat that leans Republican. You can have a baseline of thought and understand that the baseline of thought you have needs to lean more in one direction than the other for a better opportunity for everybody else.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. They
Well,
contradict.
okay, Tara, that's your opinion. Thank God you don't write the laws on that.
Well, I'm pretty sure you lean egalitarian when it comes to that money, don't it? She got to pay 50%, huh?
No, fuck no, hell no, absolutely not.
Oh, so what? You know, I don't care. Never mind. Just go.
I don't make my woman pay. I don't make my woman pay no damn 50-50. What type of? My dad ain't raised me like
What?
that.
And Tara,
My dad ain't raised me like that.
I'm curious, but please stop me if you can stop me. What? Why? How? What part about being Republican will keep you being Republican, but leaning more towards Democrat? Like, what is the
Well, that was
reason,
just an example,
Julio?
Lynn. That was just an
Oh,
example.
okay. I was about to
I didn't
say,
say.
what
I
is
didn't
the
say that was. I didn't say that was
reason?
Austin. I didn't
But
say
that's
that
the
was
whole
you.
point. Like
Just
you know how you paused at that one. And that's the whole contradiction I was talking about.
no, that
Tam,
wasn't
you
the
wanted to say
contradiction I was
something
talking
real quick before I go to the third one?
I just wanted to know: are we just giving panders that have platforms, or panders that be in comments and
That's
panels?
perfect. They
about. That's
everywhere.
good. That's funny. I
Okay.
like that one too.
All right. So the third one, he weaponizes compliments. Now we talked about this, and we know about the blatant ones, like when they come up with the ideation, they be like, "Oh, queens, whatever." But another way that they do it is like saying, "I respect black women as if we are a monolith."
Mm.
Like they talk about it as a collective. Like I'm here for black women. Like I'm here for y'all. Like they don't see us as individual peoples. Like they talk about it as like one collective role, and essentially, like a man who wasn't doing that wouldn't reduce women to these romanticized roles or like trying to flatter us. Y'all can go.
Wait, so
Damn.
that's number three?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
I'm because I'm still unpacking, right? That one I get. That one I fall for because I'm like, yeah, like they see us, but you're right. They see us as just as one instead of individuals. That one just slapped me across the face, Tara, and I don't like that.
I'm gonna hug you, Tam. We all be getting checked up here. We all be getting checked. And the reason you'll see it start to separate is when someone generalizes that, that means that they've associated, like Tara says, certain roles. So if
Mhm.
you don't fit into those roles that they said that they're going to associate with the black women they respect, they don't mean you. So now you're actually not included. You may have felt warm and fuzzy, like, oh, he means me. No, bitch. You do one thing to
Right.
get out of line. And you on the outside of that. He's not putting you in that. Then
Yeah.
you don't. And what they'll do, right, is be like, you're not a woman or you're not a black woman. I call you something else, and then they give you a different name. You didn't realize. Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
more than one classification. Oh,
Right.
like they'll tell you that. Oh, ladies do this, but y'all females, they'll start. You be like, oh, there
Oh,
are
I see what you're talking about.
categories. So right, listen to what they say and talk to them long enough, and they're never going to all respect all black women. Start asking about how she dressed or how she mothers or what she says, and you'll see all the little categories start to come out, and it
Ain't that
actually
fair to
never
say?
really is
But,
all
but
black
Dr.
women.
Concrete,
I'm sorry. Who am I talking over? Go ahead, y'all.
I'm at the Julio. You ain't gonna last too long. You just interrupting everybody.
You
I had a
wasn't
question
talking over
for her.
nobody. He was interrupting you. Let her finish.
Well, I had a question for her.
No, no, no. We actually want to hear what she's saying, so we're not going to interrupt her.
I'm gonna make it quick. Y'all know I'm trying to make it quick so everybody can go around. And the last thing is if you have like your own identity and you say, hey, this is what being a woman means to me, then he's gonna start having to accept those pockets. So I may be a black woman who does this. This is my job, blah blah blah, and I don't agree to marriage. I don't agree to kids. Do I still get the same title? So once you start to maybe separate yourself from this big massive group, you'll start to see what he really likes and dislikes about women, and then you'll see that his black woman group is a very constricted box that you have to fit in. But that's it. Y'all can go.
Yeah, I want to just add that one another way that they'll isolate you. You could be a black woman in feminist spaces talking about the things that men do and call out problematic behavior, and they'll say stuff like, "Oh, that woman over there, she not what she's saying ain't valid. She jealous of my platform. She jealous of the attention I'm getting." Like so that you like to dismiss what she's saying. That's very popular. Go ahead, Mia. Oh my bad, y'all. They don't have to go in order.
Hold
I
on, hold
wanted to
on.
say one thing
No,
that
let Mia go. My bad. No, let me stay on track. Go ahead, Mia.
I'll
My
stay on it.
bad.
Go ahead.
Oh, I hope I didn't forget. But I was just gonna give the example of like when they be saying like I got a mom, I got a sister, or if they say that they shifted when they had a daughter, or if they bring up something, some anecdote like that. I always raise my eyebrow because you should be able to see humans for what humans are, or who humans are. So you need to try to bring up your mama, your sister, like I think you actually give a fuck about them. It's crazy, and I've noticed that with red pills, of course. But even with on the other side, they say the same thing, it's just coded slightly different. So yeah.
Well, Mia, if I may ask you a question
No,
today.
we is
Eh,
going in order.
we're going in order, Julio. I'm next. I was about to say that they have a white tea wife, and
Mm.
then they receive money from black women on TikTok to support their white tea wife, and then they also tell black women they act like Bad Girls Club baddies,
Yo,
and then say that that the black women are acting ghetto. But hey, who am I? And
But you know
then
what's
Mia, could
I
you?
don't know if that apply. Does that apply?
It
Hey,
definitely applies.
hey,
Okay, got it.
that was funny.
Tara,
hold on, can I
one,
get a parallel real quick? So the
Oh,
parallel
that
for
was
that
funny
one,
as
for the
fuck.
red pill is right, because red pill men like to say, the man's supposed to be the lead, the provider, and
right.
the head of the household.
Yeah.
So if that, hold up, don't come on, sir. If that man's so progressive and he want to retire his wife, like it's the same thing. It don't matter if he's claimed that he not if his lifestyle that he want to promote
Mhm.
is the same as the thing that they saying they want. It's the same thing. You being disrespectful. Go ahead, East.
Tara, read it again for me one more time. I want to make sure it applies.
I need y'all to grab y'all notepads. We talking about how men
I'll
weaponize
write it down.
confidence.
I'll write it down.
I am
I
taking
respect
notes.
I respect black women. That's number three. I'm taking notes, Tara. First of all, but go ahead, East.
Okay, so I think this would more apply on the red pill side of TikTok is when they start to try to demonize white tea women. That's when I noticed. That's when I seen like, okay, they're pandering to the to the pygmies, the black pygmies in their audience. Is that when they'll be like, oh well, when they try to say like because it was the feminist movement that took the black men out of the home and white women they tricked y'all into but I'm glad that none of the women are falling for that and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. So they'll try to demonize white teen women, and then when you bring up the fact that she's also being oppressed by patriarchy as well, they like start to like look at Dr. Julio. He left. He was scared because he knew that he probably be doing that shit too. But yeah, that's one.
All right, y'all ready for the next one? Um, he avoids structured conversations, right? He don't talk about the systems of how patriarchy work when it comes to women performing labor for men and everyone around us. Like that's a big one. He not going to talk about women, especially doing like for example, a woman who no matter if she chose to do it or not, like she might be um setting up his Discord for him or something. You know what I'm saying? But he just benefiting from it. Like he won't talk about that. He won't talk about like reproductive coercion, reproductive control. One dude blocked me the other day because I told him like he was complaining about the economy, and I'm like, if the economy's messed up, then why are you still promoting having babies? That man blocked me, but he was supposed to be one of the good ones. I thought that was interesting. Instead, what he will focus on is good men versus bad men. So he's not talking about systems of power. He's just trying to get you to separate good men from bad men.
I see that this particular individual will bring up, this is where they'll lean on their mods, their women mods, and exploit them for labor. They don't care to educate themselves on the plight of Black women, while simultaneously grouping us all together, not necessarily talking about social impact or economic impact currently and in the past, but like you said, they'll often other themselves throughout the entire process. They really will only hold space just for the views, likes, and clicks, and then exploit another woman or women on their panel to actually do the education and the learning. I see that shit too much.
Yeah, we're gonna dive deep into that one next. No, you good though. Great, Coco.
Okay. I was gonna say for that example, when I'm trying to go to the second one. I'm trying to go to the last point. I'm trying to stick on this. Uh, okay, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back because I think my point is still gonna kind of run into to Tam's a little bit. You know what? I can do a quick one. Um, when they won't dive deep, they'll keep it very surface level, and it's usually about only romantic relationships. So everything is to point you back into finding the right man to partner up with. And if they respected women and they were feminists, they would not be pushing make a family and get married. They would let everybody do exactly what they wanted. But I haven't been able to even catch a covert. I haven't been able to catch a male feminist who's not able to get off of this. You must partner up with somebody, preferably the opposite sex, so we can make some babies. That's what they continue to push. So that's one of my biggest ways to identify that group of men. They'll always keep it around the Black family, the Black community, partnering up or what have you, but they won't talk about the systems of oppression because they're just worried about getting them a wife appliance up in their house. That's it.
No, and a great parallel for that one is these men who like you gotta they always talking about the fact that they got a wife. And they talk about like how the dynamics in their home, like their home is good, but like that's a like a dog whistle for the men. Like I'm still out here fucking, right? The most disrespectful ones will be talking about how they fuck their wife or their girlfriend. That's crazy. Or like Julio was talking about how his girlfriend was making him food, like the real traditional roles, or a man sitting there and having his partner serve him food while he on the camera. So like that's another way that they do it too. Go ahead, Mia.
Yeah, that's what I was speaking to earlier. I didn't know if he was gonna touch on it, but and I know and me and you kind of talked about it, and I know it's kind of controversial, but men who like all what you said is true. That's those are perfect examples. Like minimizing your wife to something you hunching on or calling her to validate you. We see that with red pill men and these quote unquote panderer or male feminists. All of those things are definitely dog whistles. I'm glad you said it like that. And even when they get into it with the man, one of the creators that we mentioned in Discord, who did it today. He did this the other day when he was responding to some women's in their live. He was doing like the call and answer to his wife for validation and just mention, bringing her up, but he was arguing back and forth with this weird guy that's on this app, and when they were in there back and forth, he was trying to weaponize him being married and the guy not being married, and the guy was like, what they got to do anything? And I know the other guy that we mentioned in the Discord who has a white YT wife, he often is challenging the men on his panel, saying that I'm happy I'm in a relationship, you not in a relationship. And all of that is dog whistles. It's always going to be dog whistles, because when you understand hegemonic masculinity and how it operates, one of the pillars, I'm going to use the word pillar, one of the pillars in men trying to gain respect, because we done heard it many times, respect is currency amongst the boys. But one way men try to gain respect and notoriety within these systems is being associated with heterosexuality and with a woman, having a woman. So if a man has a woman, that's gonna give him social capital, right? Don't matter if he good to her, don't matter if he done drug that lady all the way from the 99 to the 2000s, that don't matter. He got social capital, and he can weaponize it when he wants to. And so that's why I'm always, what I was alluding to earlier and what I think is important for us to understand, men who actually have have gained understanding to what women are talking about, the deep rooted issue that women are talking about with these systems that's in place, they won't fuck with us at all. They would be like, oh no, I'm too dangerous. Under this system, I'm too dangerous. So one of the things I always look to, consent, we don't know how consent looks under the patriarchy. We don't know what that looked like. Because Terry, you point this out. Even if a man does give you money, it doesn't make sense, because if we didn't have to have all these resources, and we didn't need all this money to get these basic resources, which is food, water, and shelter, for the most part, we don't know what consent will look like with any men we dealt with if we wasn't in this type of system. So when men actually understand that, I do not know if they will be looking for consensual sex with you, or would they be looking for consensual romance, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if they'll be trying to interact with us without really having to accept that they're going to be playing into the patriarchy, and they're going to have social capital based off of having access to us. So I don't know. I know it ain't no realistic thing that we can do. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we got to think about it like that.
You got me thinking on that one.
I agree, deal. Damn. Go ahead, Lynn. Oh, I think Lynn said she stepped away real quick. Go ahead, East.
You could skip me real quick. Go ahead, Liz.
Hey, Liz.
Hey, yeah, so I was just thinking of like a couple, I don't know, and I kind of came in midway, and I don't know if they've been said before, but like one thing is that anyone who is constantly saying they and not we, like a male feminist who's like talking about men, and it's like you can tell he's othering himself, he's not putting himself as part of the group of men. Like, well, they always do this, they do that, and there's a big, the big one, who would always say they. And then when he was talking about women and like the way, women's side of things, he would say we as if to like include himself as one of the women. And it was like, no, you're not, you're a man. So that's definitely a red flag. And then also anyone who doesn't read, like doesn't like read books, doesn't outside of what they talk about on here, like just goes to show you're not thinking about it beyond just the time where you get to kind of like be in the spotlight, right? And then any man who doesn't want to like talk to other men. There was another one on here who wanted to like be fawned over by the women for making all these feminist talking points, but then when asked to talk to the men, to like any problematic men, he would like whine about it. So he wasn't there to actually make a difference. He was there to just be praised by women.
Yeah, it also could be him just arguing with other men too, because like,
Yeah.
because we
Yes.
see that's what men do. They try to like out dominate each other. Like, oh, you ain't getting women, I'm getting women, or whatever, and talk about all their problematic ways. That's another way they other themselves. It don't matter who doing it, but if you sitting there arguing with men, that's all you doing.
And that's what I wanted to add to what I said earlier, where they'll exploit labor. They spend majority of the time of them arguing with the men, but then the educational piece, the learning piece, the actual speaking on true issues, they exploit the labor of a woman to do.
Oh, that's perfect. That leads us to the next one, right?
Mhm.
um, he like piggybacks on women's talking points, right? Like he'll stuff like he'll stitch another woman's content and say he agreed, but and he not really adding nothing. He'll use women as a way of like helping the conversation, pushing the conversation for their intellectual labor, but he's not the one adding to that. Like he's not adding points. He's not saying I went to the research. I read the book. I did the research. This is something I'm noticing. Like he's like, oh, okay, you saying that. Now we add on. I'm gonna say this to some man and argue with a man about it, right? It's just never wait for him to take credit and it's performative, right?
Yeah, Sagittarius
So with it,
recycling.
but again, what this would look like what it really would look like, instead of you taking a woman's talking point and then making a video talking about you was thinking about something, you would actually say this person says something. You would credit that person in a way that doesn't just elevate your platform, but a way that pushes other women, black women specifically, in this case, platform out there for more people to get the information. But y'all got it.
There's one that does that, but he does more content instead of live. I can't remember his name like right off the bat, but he does that a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. And even will attack black women in the same stitch. All I know is that he's Haitian, but I don't know his name. But to me, that's just in an effort to get
You said he's what?
Haitian.
And he got allegations?
No,
No, no, no. I heard you say he's Haitian, but does he also have allegations?
I don't know that much.
Okay, because I think I okay.
I don't know
Oh,
that much. But he always stitches women. He has a large following on TikTok, but he doesn't do lives. He just does content.
Well, I saw a man who does lives do that today, which kind of was inspirational for this prompt, because essentially he stitched a woman's video and he didn't add anything new. He didn't add a different perspective. He literally just validated what was in the video,
Right.
right? Which is interesting because like I can see in the video how it's problematic, because if you in your closet with a mic and outside the closet you got a woman with 5 kids and you're not helping her with them kids, like what is you really doing? You're not.
Oh, Tara, please.
So y'all go ahead, dog horse.
I'm trying. I'm trying. Don't say that and then throw me the mic. I always have the giggles. I think, yeah, I'll say that. So with the content portion, right? I believe that we could start, I don't know, a conversation and like run it through a couple of lives, and like we could really put out misinformation, and I believe they would copy the misinformation
That is
and start
hilarious.
and start saying it too.
It's
And
so
it's
funny.
like totally based right in bullshit, but that's how much they don't research it. We could literally just be hitting out misinformation. That's one. And the second thing is that a lot of work goes behind the scenes because we don't want to put out misinformation. We just bring a summary, or we bring the bullet points, we bring the highlights to the live to discuss. That's more relatable, but it's backed up, right, by research, and it's backed up um, by statistics and things like that. So it's backed up by history, right? So we could, if someone asked us to deep dive on something, we could substantiate it, and they can't. They're going to always keep it very surface level. They're going to be very, very general, very, very, all those things. So that's all I wanted to say, is that that's usually what I will see, is that it's always superficial
And
when these conversations. Go ahead, babe.
I got a specific example with that, right? Around the time we talking about the whole 4B conversation, we talking about how Korea needed more children, more babies or whatever. It was a woman who made a mistake and said that it was 19,000 schools that wouldn't have first graders. She meant to say that they were missing 19,000 first graders, and a man repeated it, and I thought that was hilarious. But go ahead, Mia.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Dark Horse saying. I thought that was funny. Like if we said the wrong stuff, they'll be. I can see them arguing right now with they lotion the sock with a nigga over some
Lamia,
shit
just
that
make it
they
a negative stereotype about black women. I bet you they're spitting that shit all over the internet. Keep going. Go ahead.
they'll be doing. Now that's all I was gonna say because I don't have no example. I was just gonna say I thought it was funny. I was tickled when you said that because yeah, that's true, and that's how you know they don't actually have to put no work in it. They can steal what we say and then they still get applauded because again we are so when you are I think one of you ladies had used a term like we're desperate for the allyship or the support that we end up just kind of being like, hey, not only are we inviting random folks to the cookout just because they say racism is wrong, but then we start inviting these niggas to spa day and brunch and tea parties. All of a sudden, they get the where they best dress, they best Sunday dress and hat. They can come on in. So we got to be able to recognize when they just spewing stuff that we've been saying year after year after year. But yeah, that's it.
Lynn, are you back? Go ahead, E. She might still be on.
I was gonna say one thing I notice is that the lack of empathy that they bring to the content too. It's almost as if sometimes I've noticed this for all of them. Every last person that's been mentioned in this chat, sometimes when they talk about the high DV rates, they talk about femicide, they talk about they talk about the abuse that a lot of women are under, the oppression. It's almost as if it excites them a little bit, just a little bit. It you all of a sudden it's a little, their voice get higher and you could tell, they bricked up underneath that camera. They don't bring any humanity into those numbers. They don't talk about how, the women that are facing domestic violence. It's just a flat fact. 80% of women face domestic violence in this country, but they don't talk about how they don't talk about they you could tell that they bring nothing deeper to how women can how hard it is for women to remove themselves from the domestic violence like situation that they're in. They don't talk about I think it was, I don't know if it was an article or a book, but a woman talked about the price of domestic violence and how much it costs for women that are in particular when they are being stalked, how it costs them to take time off of work to go down to the courthouse and to file an injunction or file a restraining order. And if that doesn't work, the cost of her possibly having to change her job or lose her job, the price of her having to move away to another apartment, like they don't even conceptualize, because they don't see the humanity in what they're talking about. They just only see talking points. They don't talk about how when it comes to femicide, a lot of women who are victims of femicide are usually the mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, daughters, and best friends of victims of domestic violence too. Like they don't even think about those things at all. It's just talking points to them. You could see that we are, whenever they talk about like what's going on in like these spaces, it's like a bullet point, and it's very flat, it's very monotone. There's no empathy, there's no emotion, there's absolutely nothing. It's just It's just a reply, and that's it. And the pets too, Sag. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Liz.
So I've actually had like my entire prompt copied like verbatim, word for word, like by other creators, and I don't know why I didn't even think of this until now, because I wasn't like the topic wasn't like misogyny and feminism and patriarchy. It was about racism. But like every time that happened, it was a man who did it, who like did the copying. And like I don't think that if I were another man, they would have done that. Like there's an entitlement that is felt towards like women's intellectual property that I don't think is like the same when it's a man. Like there's a respect that's like baseline when it's a man's intellectual property.
I mean, to be fair, men's intellectual property, I want to know what that look like, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
One thing, Doc was like the response to like refer to Deontay Kyle. And one thing I say I do respect about him is that he does talk about things from a male's perspective. Like men who come on here and they're talking about these points and they're getting it from a woman's perspective. Because that's the thing. That's the telltale sign that you plagiarize. You're giving us what something's like from a woman's perspective. You ain't even talking about your own experiences. And I think that's real interesting. All right, let's move on to the next one, y'all. Um, this one interesting because if y'all know about a man who mad that I called him a bitch a year ago, this shit gonna be funny. But he's overly like he has empathy for other misogynists, right? He'll be like, hey y'all, like give this man some grace, let him talk. He'll be like, y'all ain't gotta go at him like that. Like if you talk to him a certain way, they'll listen. Basically they'll police the way you address them. Because like he doesn't want to actually hold men fully accountable, even when it's uncomfortable, because that's the thing. There are women who say that they felt uncomfortable when a man being checked a certain way, right? And they had to unpack why that was. And the same thing happened to other men. Like, oh, you calling this man out like this? I feel uncomfortable because a lot of times the things that he's saying and he doing is resonating too much. Tam, you want to comment?
I was actually gonna bring that man up. I promise you, I was gonna bring it up and say that there's a man on here that's been crying about you calling him a bitch for a year, and yet at the same time, there's men that call him a hoe, a pussy, a bitch, and all of this other stuff, and he just let it slip and slide.
Mm,
Not slip and slide.
mm. I guess it's also the ones that will come after the women creators
Hmm.
and try to diminish their platforms or completely get their platforms eradicated, opposed to the men.
Now, how do you think they doing that? Like,
Mass recording, of course, and weaponizing women.
yeah, the weaponizing women part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Doc, you want to say something?
Um, yeah, I think I may have touched on it a little bit because I feel like my same point's coming up again. But it does continue to show up in the circle jerk. That's the very definition of a circle jerk. Just don't talk to men a certain way. So it's just the silencing of our voices, the policing of our voices, tone, the content of the conversation, all of it needs to be silenced. And it's just purely because you're a man, not because what we're saying isn't facts, and not because anything we're saying is wrong. But it's the whisper of please don't say that aloud about us men. And anybody who wants to silence the truth about man is a dangerous person. That's it. I'll toss it over to Mia.
Yeah, we had like I could think about a bunch of different things. Thank y'all for getting halfway through. I could think about a bunch of different examples, right? we understand that men are very much rough and tough and no nonsense, quote unquote, with each other. They could like think about coaches, think about their favorite motivational speaker, think about all that. They love getting talked to greasy. Um, they don't think women should be able to speak to them that way, and you will find that men, no matter what side they fall on, they all have this uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable. It don't feel safe for them to hear men be called out in that manner, regardless of how that man is behaving. They will focus in on that outside of what the disrespect was, especially if it's a soft spoken disrespectful ass motherfucker. And we when we was watching or listening back to one of those creators, don't hear him in his wig moving in the camera, he talking about like we shouldn't. I think Dark Horse, you said he was like using fear. He was definitely fear mongering, trying to say that women can't talk to men because it could be dangerous. So we need to, sit back and let the men handle men business. That bring me to a real dark place. Cause a bitch with a bonnet on, a bitch who don't know how to clean his twat,
Wait,
can't stop me from doing nothing. Like I'm a knock you and your wig on out the way. Let your wife breastfeed you, cause I could curse this bitch out on my own. I don't need, like what the cheetah girl said. I don't want to be like Cinderella, bitch. I definitely don't need no wig like yours coming in through. Ain't nobody taking you serious.
Sorry.
You want the attention because you want to get fucked and ducked. That's what you want. I ain't stupid. Them niggas be wanting to fuck. But that's
Mia,
another story.
I had,
can you
I
add the
had,
name? Because I don't
I
know
had one more
who
point.
got a
Yeah, we'll
wig
put it in the
on.
chat. She'll put it in there.
Now,
But
Bonnie,
I had a
yes.
serious point. Me and you was cooking. I had a serious point. You messed me up, so now it's not going to hit the same. I'm trying to change my voice. I got to hit the laugh on my voice.
No,
I
it's
just wanted
okay.
to say that, that everything you said just brings me to the point that masculinity only can exist when it's unchallenged. But the very definition of masculinity is supposed to be the one who can take all of the y'all ain't hearing what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Masculinity only works when it's unchecked, unchallenged. That's it. The minute any question is raised, anyone challenges it, that shit crumbles and people lose their shit. But the definition of it is supposed to be the opposite, right? Fuck
Mm-hmm.
out of here. But go ahead, Mia. You cooked on that.
And no, just one thing, Tam. When I say wig, everybody got a wig. I got my wig. You got yours. Liz got
Oh,
it's the wig show head. It's just the wig, aka your head. That's all.
okay. Because there's someone on Political Talk that be wearing a wig,
Now
a
I ain't talking about
dude.
no literal
Okay,
wig.
because I was thinking a legit lace front. Okay, okay.
We all got a wig. I
Is
hope I hope y'all got y'all wigs.
Lynn back yet?
I don't think so.
I wanted to add to what I think you kind of touched on, Mia, is the is when they do have like their mods or the women that they allow on the panel. A lot of the women, they have to act real ladylike. They're not allowed to call the men bitches. They're not allowed to go back and forth. They're not allowed to roast the dudes or nothing like that. But then also too, a lot of the women, they have to be cookie cutter. They have to be very, very cookie cutter. They have to speak as if they have a PhD. Any woman that comes up there and displays any type of emotion or any type of hurt, pain, or triggering, they're not. They won't allow her those spaces. Those women have to come. They have to have their bullet points completely ready. So, and I think that's the king panderer too. The women that he allows, they have to be PhD Harvard level, to be allowed to speak on the panel. And then also, as far as, yeah, that too. Just the women that they allow on the panels, they have to be very, very cookie cutter. And then that's it. I land.
Liz, did you want to add something?
Um, Yeah, I think, and just in general, I think someone touched on it a little bit before, but just to expand on that a little bit, like when men are so much more like even the so-called feminist men, which by the way, I don't think that men can be feminists. I don't think that that's a thing, but I mean, maybe that's controversial. I don't know. But like, there's so much more energy put towards like problematic women versus problematic men. Even like if the women that they're going after are like, the so-called pick me women who are male centered, who like are harmful to other women, sure. But like if they obviously glean a lot of pleasure from like going after like leading the charge of like there's a problematic woman, she's male centered, like I don't even think men should say the words pick me. Like I think that's weird. Um but like but yeah, as opposed to like there's so many problematic men you could go after. Like you could probably spend your whole life calling out problematic men and not call all of them out. But like the women, you're gonna like lead the charge against the women. That's a little weird.
Yeah, I know I was in that conversation with Dex when I was like, I don't think y'all should be calling women pick me, period, because like, it comes across like, one, you benefited from that, right? Like y'all play into that, but like it becomes a punching down thing at the same time. Um,
Also, I wanted to add before you moving on to the next one, or you expanding?
my boy, and then I'm gonna do this last one.
I was
So
gonna say, um, damn, because Liz said something that sparked it. Damn it. Never mind. I'm sorry, y'all.
it's okay if it come back to you.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say also too, they're not checkable. So sometimes even if they say something wrong, the women that they have, their safe women that they have on the panel, the little cookie cutter Stepford wives that they be having, they're not allowed to check the man in real time on the panel. It has to be done always on the back end. They're not allowed to embarrass him, and also too, they're not allowed to disagree with him at all. Not even, you know how sometimes Tara or Lynn, y'all be like, I don't agree. And I'll be like, okay, why you don't agree? And we'll talk it out. You're not allowed to do that in those types of men's spaces. The men are never ever allowed to be wrong.
Right, and that just
Yeah,
goes.
no way.
I was just gonna say that just goes to show like that's when you're not really unpacking if you're not like if you won't let anyone correct you, right? Because unpacking should be about a learning process and like you're sort of yeah you're going through a process of deconstructing and unpacking something like that involves learning and there's going to be missteps along the way. If a man will not be corrected by anyone, particularly women, in that so-called process, it's not really a process.
But and here's the thing about that: it can't just be like, "Well, I'll take the criticism." You really have to make space for it. You have to make space for it, and that's something like women need to be honest with themselves. Like, do I actually feel like there's room for me to criticize what's being said and still feel protected? Because if not, then that should tell you everything you need to hear. We got one more, y'all. Um, so this last one focuses on like what's the purpose of the platform, right? Because like it's not just knowing who purpose of the platform, right? Because like it's not just knowing who your audience is, but it's the purpose of your platform is to help support other women. Is the purpose of your platform is to like share information. Is the purpose of your platform anything to actually help that's going to change anything that that won't just be you growing your platform. If that makes sense, right? Yeah, the money. Last they try to make money. Um, Sometimes they'll use these spaces as a dating strategy. I've heard men who claim that they're male feminists say that they give men advice to be better husbands, right? Like if you're giving advice to men to how to mask better, how to like because it sounds good on the outside, but what's actually happening is now when my wife called me out on some shit, I could do what that dude did. What that man name? Who said respect my boundaries. I can weaponize the things I'm saying online, right? Um and yeah, that's about it. But that should look like, but it like they should be saying what the purpose of that platform is. You should be able to go and ask them. But a lot of times you're not gonna get anything. It's gonna be like, oh, I'm not speaking to women. I'm focusing on the men.
All I gotta say is please don't bring up money. That'll blow the whole night up. You'll get blocked for life. Please don't mention money. Please don't mention money. That's the purpose. But if you ever say it aloud or type it in the comments, you're going to get blocked. None of them have confessed that they're doing this for money. Not yet. I'm still fucking waiting. According to them, this is all altruistic. No, motherfucker, it's for money. Otherwise, give it back. Don't have a gift goal. Tell people don't cash app and that kind of stuff. You're not doing this for the cause. I don't care what you say the purpose of your platform is. Every Friday, have a giveaway and give all the money back you collect every week to women. I
And
doubt it. I fucking believe it.
I
Anyway, I'm going on mute.
I want to say one thing to that because like some people were like, well, shit, women do the same thing. If y'all think that women are making the same amount of money as men on this platform for saying the same shit,
No.
it ain't no fucking comparison. Ain't no comparison.
This ties back to your first one, Tara, because they will say their whole entire platform is to uplift Black women or women in general, but then you're capitalizing off of the very minority group that you are supposedly protecting or standing up for, and then you're not pouring that money back into the community whatsoever. In fact, you're bragging about it. You're showing us shoes, hats. You're calling other people broke. You're talking about subs. You're talking about how much you want to get today as far as money. Like, to me, that's a red flag.
Tam, messy talk, give back money. Messy
Yes,
talk,
Messy Talk will
destroy
have,
people
yes,
for a living.
they will dox people
Destroy
for
people for a
fun
living and give money and
and
give
pay
money back.
people's
It is
rent
disgusting.
and pay people's
It is
bills.
disgusting, Alex. They on this
You be like,
right,
wait a
but they on
minute.
this moral high ground. They're better than everybody else. They're unpacking. They're morally higher than all these other degenerates. These
Mhm.
degenerates are giving money back. You got to be kidding me. It's just a fucking joke.
I have
They're making too
literally
much not to
seen
give back.
I've literally seen Messy Talk raise money off of the downfall of one other creator in real time and donate all the money to somebody who needed it for their light bill.
Now y'all be careful with the donations, because sometimes they ask for donations to build a community garden and they don't ever do it. Just saying.
Exactly. That should never happen. It became two what is it? Palm ferns from Lowe's. Uh-huh.
No, it was. Let me steal some pictures from this elementary school where what is building
Mhm. And a
where
Pepsi.
people actually worked on it, and I'm gonna put my face on it. I'm just saying.
And move some dirt around and smile at the camera. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mia, you want to say something?
Now y'all said everything that I would have said. I definitely agree. Um you had me weak with the community garden. That community garden is still somewhere being built,
Somewhere.
hating on it. That community garden gonna be built in the year 2036. But now I agree 100%. Oh,
That shit like the building fund. Go ahead. I think I don't know if Land Bag. Go ahead, East.
Y'all can see me. I'm washing dishes.
Did we mention stealing content?
Oh yeah, that's what I was
Ooh.
saying earlier. They definitely steal content to put their name on it.
I was making sure we mentioned that one.
Because they'll say stuff like, "I don't have to read all the books already advanced from that because they got the cliff notes from a woman."
Oh
That's
yeah,
all.
that one.
Yes.
What was that? Number
Yeah,
3, number 4. Okay.
one of them. It don't even matter what number it was. We know it was said. Um, Liz, did you want to say something on this one?
Yeah, I just with we're saying King Panderer now with him. I remember the first time it really like kind of the light bulb went off on top of my head where it was like this is not for like, and I should have seen it a while before that, but like I was like this there's something seriously not right about this is like when that one guy came on his panel and made the comments that he made in front of his daughter about dark-skinned black women and made the daughter upset. I'm sorry, King Pandora heard that and didn't drop him. didn't drop him because the way he makes money is off of the freaking drop fee. And so, like, it was
Because who cares about the harm? As long
right.
as your bank account not harm, right?
But and then
Right.
who's gonna most likely be the one to pay the money to drop that person? So women have to pay to like not have to be traumatized? What's going on? Is this supposed to help anything?
Yes, they want you to pay to eliminate your own trauma from the space. Yes. After they've sword fight it with them for a bit.
And that's the thing. And some people like that's the thing. They're gonna say like that's what it's for. Like I'm trying to make money, but to make it seem like it's this righteous thing, try to make it seem like this righteous thing when it's not. It's crazy.
Y'all,
All right,
Terry
y'all.
trying to wrap us up. She said we've
Yeah,
been
we hit that
on.
90 minutes. Listen, I'm trying to eat. I'm trying to eat and talk to y'all. It ain't working. Um, but we went through the list. It's some more stuff. We'll talk about it later. It'll come up. I think I'm gonna do a video series on these and just refer back to the live today. But I don't know. Maybe we'll get a part two because some interesting things happening this week. Y'all want to say anything before I drop everybody?
No.
No.
Thanks,
Like,
y'all.
Bye.
if
Bye,
y'all
y'all.
not already following me on YouTube, it's at Terra.js. Feel free to go YouTube. I put all my lives over there. If you there, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscribers up to 500. And if you do like the video, if you watch the video, and I appreciate it, make sure you like in the video too. Thank y'all.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.